Okay. So before start, can we have a small introduction from your side? Dhananjay, from you.
Okay, sir. My name is Dhananjay. I am from Satara and I am currently working in Signet 1, location Ahmedabad. And I can join this DevOps corporate training because of preparation and extra knowledge and experience purpose. That's why this is my introduction.
So what are the current tasks you are doing and the skills you have?
Okay, currently I have skill in AWS networking, basic networking, AWS and Linux and basic basic DevOps, not more basic DevOps. This is my skill.
Okay. And Prashant, from your side?
Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. My name is Prashant Kannawar. Hello.
Yes, yes, audible.
Yeah, my name is Prashant Kannawar. Belongs to Nanded, Maharashtra. Currently, I am working as Linux administrator at ADP Private Limited. I have 4 years of experience. And this in last August, I have completed Kubernetes Certified Administrator CK certification also. I have knowledge, but I am joining this project to grasp again refresh my knowledge as well as and grasp completely knowledge about the CI/CD tools. That's all.
Okay, Aarti.
Okay, hi. I'm audible, sir?
Yes, yes, audible.
Yeah, hi. Hi, my name is Aarti Mazge, and I have 2 years experience as a site reliability engineer, and I'm employee as Pitney Bowes. As in Pitney Bowes, my role was the only monitoring. So I just want to learn about the more DevOps tool. So I just joined the class. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So from my side, I have a total 14 years of experience and it's going on. So I work with the diversified industry, diversified technologies. Initially, I started with the non-technical in the Chakan Pune itself in 2011. Then I switched from the non-technical function to technical background because I have the degree on the BCA side. So that's why I want to move to the technical side. So I joined some of the web hosting organization in the Pune, Shivajinagar, and then I worked around 2.5 years. So where I work with the data center engineer, desktop support, and the support engineer, customer experience, and like that to support the customers related to query, web hosting, domain service, email service, like that. Then also handle the data center things in the TCL. It's near Digi area, Vishnadwadi. So we're assembling the system, mounting the hardware and all the stuff, data center engineer. They're moving towards the baby's online products where I hope you are aware, firstcry.com. Are you aware?
I know the office is near the railway station, Pune railway station, correct?
Yes, 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 correct. Okay, so I worked there almost 3.5 years, including the firstcry.com and the Express Beach. Both are parent company. So there I start my actual AWS journey because the one person who is managing the AWS services, I don't have access at the time because he is the manage, and we know that the how the diplomatic things works in the industry in the startup, right? Normally they don't allow to have the access and lose their control, right? But somehow that candidates goes away and I get the opportunity. So I grasp that opportunity and I make it trial like I learn and manage the complete infrastructure as a startup organization. And there was huge pressure on me to handle those complete infrastructure because at that time there is no major scope or not huge demand on the DevOps side. Definitely little bit, but not as now we have, right? On the Kubernetes side and other stuff, GitLab, CI/CD and other things. So, but I still manage the AWS services, learn those things, doing the study and other things, because I have basic knowledge but not completely hands-on. And I am the only, and it's a very critical infrastructure. Okay, as we know, right, e-commerce industry, the online shopping things. So that's really pressurized to manage everywhere. Like I always carry the laptop and some things, but I learn somehow. Okay, I manage them in there in-house data center as well. That also I manage because of my earlier experience on that. So after that, I joined the HSBC banking sector, where I work around 6 months. Okay, because I again rejoined the Express Bridge. They call me back. After that, in I joined Cyberge from last 7 years. I'm working there Cyberge, and it's really given me the more opportunity in the Cyberge. I work with the multiple projects, and every project has a different technologies. CDK, your AWS, CI/CD for the Jenkins, and other tools like Git. Obviously, Git is always there, right? And then your monitoring tools, Grafana, Nagios, and other stuff, CloudWatch, and other tools like the CDK is an infrastructure as a tool, which is like Terraform, CDK, Cloud Development Kit. And currently, in the current project, I'm working on the Kubernetes side, which is completely designed by me on the from the scratch. So there are 2, 3 internal entities where I'm just handling. So and that's completely from the scratch to end-to-end function, like setting the networking part, setting the clusters and the monitoring part, and complete deployment via the Jenkins. Okay. Terraform is not there, but I use CloudFormation there. So it's Sybase gives me more opportunity by working the different projects there. So this is how I am currently working. Okay. So to based on my complete experience on the 14 years, so what I observe, so we know that right, market is changing, and it's a normal behavior. Every sector will change on the timeline, राइट वी नो दैट कि जैसे टाइम बढ़ेगा वैसे टाइम चेंज होगा. जैसे पहले अगर हम मनी की बात करें, राइट, सो पहले 10 रुपए में बहुत कुछ आता था, बट अभी आता है क्या, नहीं आता है. इट्स अ फाइनेंशियल वाइज, बिकॉज सिचुएशन कम्स, इन्फ्लेशन कम्स. सेम थिंग फॉर द टेक्नोलॉजी वाइज. We can't say कि we will learn only one technology and we can survive it forever. It will not work. Okay. So we need to deal with the market. If we can't able to deal with the market, we will lose there. Right. We know that market is very tough right now, and it will be more and more because populations and other things, less opportunity, huge competitions, no government jobs, right? People are coming from the non-technical backgrounds, BA, BCom or something like that. I'm not blaming them, but they don't have any opportunities, right? That's why they are coming from non-technical background to this background, because they know they will get a huge amount of salaries and other benefits, perks like that. And they see like opportunities are there in the IT industry, and it's there. Okay. If you learn proper technology and we do the proper things, definitely maybe not sooner, but later somehow, sometimes takes little bit more time as we expected. But if you do the proper acquire skills and knowledge, definitely it will helps going forward. Okay. So to consider overall market situation, demands and the opportunity, which I covered. Normally, I took the backups like normal people do, right, in the market, the theoretical sessions, then some concepts, right, conceptuals, and some do the labs. Okay, but after taking 8, 9 batches, I thought why I should continue with the traditional way, right? I should change something where actually it will help the people, right? How the exact real industry works, how we can get the capacity planning, the requirements gathering, client communication, internal team collaborations, cross team collaborations, how to handle the pressures, deadlines, right? Production deliverable and other things. Those things keep in mind. I designed this course like that. Okay. So in that you can just see I designed the module wise things like that. So we can understand DevOps roadmaps, the learning strategy, how we can plan based on your skills. Okay. Team formation, cross-functional collaboration, how we can connect with the different teams, QA team, DBA team, your architecture team, lead one, right? DevOps, front end, back end developers, like that. How the real projects workflow does, how it works end to end, right? We can understand those things in module one. In module two, we can understand day-to-day activities of the DevOps, so you can early understand कि हमें क्या क्या learn करना चाहिए, right? So those in my minds, so I just put in front module 2. Roles and responsibility, what are the roles? So based on that you can just focus later stage कि हमें क्या क्या learn करना है. Collaboration patterns with the teams, जो कि clients meetings होते हैं, stand-ups, communication, the way of communication, how we can do that effectively, okay? क्या चीजें avoid करना चाहिए, क्या negative things and other positive things, ठीक है? And the diplomatic way as well in the office politics. Requirement gathering and the real projects. In the module 3, project execution and infrastructure planning, requirement understanding and capacity planning. So before doing any project from the scratch, we need to understand the requirements and capacity planning. We can't go blindly कि if someone asks you, hey, Aarti, Prashant or Dhananjay, right? Just create one EC2 instance. You can't go blindly and create the resources. You need to first understand key requirement क्या है, what are the traffic pattern, application nature, how much storage you require. You should ask this question to the requester. And then what is the IP address required and the naming convention of this, domain name registration, right? Those complete things we need to ask. क्या क्या चाहिए, security group में कौन सा port open करना चाहिए, that also matters, right? So those things we will understand based on the practical real world. Architectural designing, how we can do the designing of the architecture, like 3-tier architecture or any EKS cluster level architecture, VPC network architecture, those things we will learn. Okay. Then process and standard follows in the companies, definitely that will really help you. How the access mechanism, how the compliance, how the process things, that we need to take care. Okay. We don't need to share sensitive information outside on the public URL like GitHub, any blogs or something. Okay. Passwords like that or any company's documentation. Task planning and work breakdown. So we need to work on the agile methodology like your Jira ticket, sprint planning, 2 week sprint planning, how we can plan those tasks. Okay. How we can divide in the chunks instead of taking one task in one Jira ticket. Let's say some you have to create dev environment, for example. So you cannot create a single Jira ticket for entire dev environment setup. We need to segregate it, like set up the VPC network, set up the cluster, set up the DNS, set up the database. So for each chunks, we need to create separate task. Okay. So इससे क्या होगा, आपका विजिबिलिटी ज्यादा बढ़ेगा, टिकट ज्यादा दिखेंगे, राइट? दोज आल्सो वी नीड टू टेक केयर. ऐसे नहीं है कि आप ब्लाइंडली काम करते जा रहे हो, जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना गधे की तरह काम करते हैं, वैसे नहीं करना है आपको. थोड़ा सा स्मार्ट वर्क भी लाना पड़ेगा. जो आप एफर्ट्स ईमानदारी से कर रहे हो, राइट, यू हैव टू शोकेस. आपने देखा होगा कुछ बंदे ऐसे भी होते हैं मार्केट में जो टेक्निकली वीक होते हैं, बट प्रेजेंटेशन वाइज बोल बच्चन जो हम बोलते हैं वो ज्यादा रहता है उसमें, राइट? दे शोकेस देयर स्किल, भले ही टेक्निकली कम होते होंगे बट स्टिल दे आर सक्सेस, राइट? Those things we will discuss on that. Then DevOps tools and real use cases, which exactly pinpoint tools we need to take care, we need to study. Okay. There are bunch of tools available in the market, so don't confuse. The things we require, we will discuss only on those areas. Okay. बाद में let's say कि अभी if I give the example AWS cloud, now we need to learn AWS cloud, but in somehow in some any other projects, if you are getting the opportunity to learn and work on the Azure, so at that time you can learn, right? Any additional tools जैसे कि Grafana है, CloudWatch, Nagios है. If you don't know Nagios but you know the Grafana, right, that is fine. You know the conceptual, right, which metrics you need to monitor. In some projects, if you get the opportunity or set up the task like Nagios or any other tools, so at that time you can learn on the runtime. But जो main चीजें है first, that you need to focus and learn. Distract नहीं होना है आपको. Okay. How we can set up the local project. Now when we talk about the local setup, project setup, it is your Git project, it is your Terraform project, it is your Kubernetes project and other things from the local as well as the CI/CD pipeline. Okay. Learning strategies. Then actual projects like Linux Nginx with the reverse proxy setup, LAMP server, Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP, log forwarding. We need to install some agent from the CloudWatch side, so we can forward our application log, which is on your EC2 base, we can still forward to CloudWatch and Grafana. Okay. Cron management, backup strategies, which command we need to run for the backup, real troubleshootings. We can see some of these web servers and other things, and must know Linux commands. Okay. So very major commands which we need to aware. GitLab management, your Git code base management, right? GitLab, GitHub, Bitbucket introduction, Git workflows, Git project setup, collaboration via Git. If you are working on the single repo branch with the multiple team members, how we can do that? How we can take a clone, how we can push the commit changes, how we can resolve the merge conflict, those we will learn in this. Okay. Branching strategies, which branching strategy we need to use, like based on the environment, dev, test, QA, production, hotfix, bug fix, feature, release, those we will learn in this. Okay. Troubleshooting Git issues, some things we will receive when we work the Git, we will learn those things. Okay. Cloud computing, we will understand the introduction of this cloud computing, on-premises versus cloud things, networking fundamentals, major services we need to learn, three-tier architecture, ECR with ECS, RDS with the high availability and multi-SG cluster, EKS with the Jenkins and GitHub action, we can do cluster setup, deployments and other things. Cloud formation, similar like our Terraform. Okay. Serverless architecture with the Lambda function with the API gateway. Lambda function for the automation, we will learn Python based, Node.js based Lambda function. Okay. Now infrastructure automation means what? So database operation, your start, stop servers daily basis for the cost optimization, like those things. Okay. VPC network setup, instance capacity planning, elastic cache, which is your Redis. Okay. For the searching function, monitoring, definitely we will learn monitoring and the auditing point of view. These are the very critical. Compliance, SSO, security, which is single sign-on, how we can maintain the security, compliance things. Okay. CLI and local integrations. So AWS provides CLI also. You can manage AWS multiple ways. Programmatic way, which is SDK based, CLI command line interface, okay, and the manual as well. जो console से हम करते हैं ना, that also. S3 plus CloudFront, which we will deploy web application via the CloudFront, okay. And some of the AI services which we can learn, Amazon Q, Bedrock, SageMaker, and other things. Cost optimization also very important. We need to understand the billing part, how we can save the cost. And to save the cost, we need to take multiple factors, actions. Right sizing the instance, stop and stop, lower environment, not production. Using the lower storage capacity, we can increase later, okay, at the time. Kubernetes architecture, cluster setup, configurations, auto-scaling configuration for the node level scaling and the pod level scaling as well. We will understand in the deep dive how we can maintain this scaling, YAML file management, Helm chart like this. Okay. Load balancer setups with the services for deployment strategies via the CloudWatch. Jenkins and your GitHub actions. Monitoring part, how we can monitor the pods in the CloudWatch and Grafana, troubleshootings, and we will see some application deployments, Spring Boot based and Nginx web server. Any questions till now?
No, sir.
No, that Nginx, we are installing Nginx with the help of YAML file. That by using the Nginx image, correct? Deploy
Sorry?
Nginx.
Yes. So we will maintain the Docker file. We will convert Docker file into the image. We will push that registry into the registry like ECR, yeah, Nexus, JFrog, वगैरह. But in this case, we will use ECR in the AWS service, okay, and we will deploy into the pod. For the Terraform, we will understand the Terraform architecture, modularize wise and all the things जो real time use होता है actual में, ठीक है? How we can do project setup in local as well as the CI/CD. Integration with the CI/CD, authentication and authorization, that we will learn. Infra management. So infra management means you are creating the infrastructure, deleting infrastructure, do the modification in any security groups, any changes, values or something. State management, troubleshootings. So we will learn in this. Now, CI/CD projects, we will see Git integration in your Jenkins, GitHub Actions. Okay. DevSecOps, we will learn how we can do the SonarQube integrations, some other secret detection scans, and other tools. Those really required in the Jenkins pipeline. How we can do the rollback strategies. You deploy something on the environment, but it's not working. So how we can roll back, right? That also the matters that we will learn. CI/CD troubleshootings, how we can do the
Sorry
CI/CD
to disturb you.
troubleshooting.
Sorry to disturb you. But that rollback strategy is a part of Kubernetes also. That blue grid GitLab, blue normal deployment, blue grid deployment. That's what, or that's
That,
all
that is
different.
that is part of the deployment strategy. It's not
Okay.
rollback strategy.
Okay, this is different. Okay, sorry.
Rollback strategy means how we can roll back previous version from Jenkins or any CI/CD tools, as well as if you are doing Kubernetes things. So there are a couple of commands where you can do that rollback things. That also we will learn.
Yeah, okay.
And these are the normal things like resume and profile optimization. That also important, right? Interview preparation tips, any guidance. And if you are interested, I can take 1 or 2 mock interviews as well. ठीक है, ये सब होने के बाद. So in this course contain any question from anyone?
सर वो आप AWS मतलब CI/CD कौन सी AWS वाली का मतलब कौन सी वाली एग्जैक्ट?
Jenkins and GitHub Action.
ओके नॉट AWS. ओके नो इशू.
Because GitHub Action ज्यादा यूज होता है ना.
ओके हाँ यस अब न्यू भी है तो गिटहब एक्शन यूज ज्यादा कंपनी कर रही है बराबर. ओके
Yes, yes. You can feel free to ask any questions if you are in mind. Don't worry. बाकी each session will be recorded. जो हम लाइव सेशन देंगे that session will record. अभी जैसे ये सेशन चल रहा है तो ये रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है, ठीक है. तो same thing for whenever we do any other session, that also recorded. In case if you are out of the town or any medical situation something or not able to join, so you will not miss the lecture. So आप recording भी देख सकते हैं बाद में जो सेक्शन हुए हैं. And once you watch it, you can just ask any questions in later live session.
सर इसका PDF दोगे क्या हमें कुछ मतलब PDF नोट्स दोगे क्या इसका ऐसा कुछ है क्या?
नोट्स ना, हाँ, wherever possible I will share the notes. ऑलरेडी मैंने कुछ प्रिपेयर किए हैं जो प्रीवियस सेशन में, बट इसका भी आपको
Okay.
जहाँ जहाँ स्टेप अभी जहाँ स्टेप्स है ना, जैसे कि आपको उस तरह के नोट्स नहीं मिलेंगे जैसे कि EKS क्लस्टर है, व्हाट इज द EKS क्लस्टर वगैरह, वो आपको गिटहब में मैं जस्ट नॉर्मल फंक्शनल फ्लो डाल दूंगा. आपको
Okay.
डिटेल स्टेप इसका मिलेगा, हाउ टू सेटअप द क्लस्टर, VPC का स्टेप्स, या उसमें डिप्लॉयमेंट करना है आपको, पॉड डिप्लॉयमेंट करना है, वो सारा चीज आपको मिलेगा. YAML फाइल मिलेगी, देन CI/CD का
Okay.
जो YAML फाइल होता है वो भी मिलेगा आपको. तो जो जो जहाँ
Okay.
पे जरूरी है ना वो सारा नोट्स मिलेगा.
Okay. PDF में ऐसा मिलेगा. ओके
PDF नहीं, नॉर्मल टेक्स्ट फाइल जो मैं यूज करता हूँ ना.
ओके
हाँ, बाद में उसको आप कन्वर्ट करना चाहते हो तो कन्वर्ट कर लो PDF में, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है.
ओके नो सर. और सिलेबस का भी हमें PDF है या टेक्स्ट
सिलेबस
फाइल है?
सिलेबस तो ये गिटहब पे ही डाला है ना मैंने, मैं आपको भेज देता हूँ ग्रुप में, रुको.
ओके नो.
वेट, ये सेंट्रलाइज है, मैं वो PDF वगैरह मैनेज नहीं करता क्योंकि वो 10 जगह पे शेयर करना पड़ता है ना.
हाँ बराबर.
तो लिंक शेयर कर दिया तो काम हो जाता है.
हाँ राइट.
तो दैट्स व्हाई ग्रुप पे शेयर किया है मैंने.
और सर मुझे पूछना था एक और
हम्म.
मतलब ऐसे नॉर्मल क्वेश्चन है मतलब मेरा भी क्या हो रहा है, मेरा मॉनिटरिंग पर्पज ज्यादा होता है वहाँ पे कंपनी में, तो मेरा
हम्म.
हैंड्स ऑन नहीं होता मतलब लिनक्स का